It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. They begin the drive with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Looking to throw on second down. Walker. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw is Walker. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. Well, able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the third down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Richardson to the air on first down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Richardson off the play fake. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And Richardson looks to throw once more. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On is the punter, Hawk, as he gets this one away. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 44-yard line.
Get it! Cougar 19!
A give up the middle to Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Walker now. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Quiddy Pay drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Taking it about the 16. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Moss. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. There, Richardson back to throw it. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
And Walker now to throw on 1st down. Screen play, Johnson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that's all about recognition right there because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now this one thrown away. Will we see a flag? No. They'll say there was a receiver nearby. Pretty generous call, but either way, it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Throwing again, it's Richardson on 2nd down.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2nd down. Here's Richardson.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Richardson. Gets around him. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback who's scrambling around actually takes off and runs downfield, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run on 1st down with Moss. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Richardson to throw. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Zach Moss. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts have taken the lead. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Walker looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go to Johnson again. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Walker. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Here's Walker. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Quiddy Pay, his 2nd sack of the night. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next. One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On second down, here's a run with Moss.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go up the middle here with Moss. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. DeMarcus Walker there on the stop.
Here we go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
On 2nd down, it's Richardson to throw it. They'll run the screen with Moss. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Richardson on 3rd and short, and he'll find Pittman. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 43. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Yeah, Richardson yet again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10, back to the air with Richardson. Over the middle, complete. It's McKenzie. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Richardson out of the shotgun. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Colts will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. touchdown. Here's Gay to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. First down, Walker. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Throwing again on second down. Walker. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Walker. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Walker. This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. So time perhaps for 1 final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First and 10. Here's Richardson with it. Pass out left, caught by Woods. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Moss on the give up the middle. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Richardson shotgun on third down. Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bears are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Pushes past him. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Walker. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Caught here by Griffin. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect him to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Richardson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McKenzie. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Richardson slides down after evading the defense, and he moves the chains. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Richardson hit it, he fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. And he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. To throw on 3rd down, Walker. And that's going to be incomplete.
The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Well, the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 58 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
The throw over the middle taken in.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Richardson looking to throw this.
And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd down and 8.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Colts get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Walker. That's complete to Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Looking to throw. Walker completes a Mooney on the slant. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
A first down throw for Walker. He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Chicago! Darnell Mooney, 46 yards. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Colts set to take over here offensively. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Ready?
Richardson. Caught by Woods.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. From the gun, it's Taylor. And some room to maneuver. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Richardson on the bootleg here. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
1st and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Here's a give to Moss out of the shotgun. Stops short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a toss here. Moss running to the left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. They're going to run for it. It's Moss. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Richardson now on 2nd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Richardson now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
This one no doubt important for Matt Gay.
This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. To throw is Walker. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
He's back to throw. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left.
Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10.
Dropping this underneath with Herbert.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll look to throw.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
Okay, ready?
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. This one came right down to the wire. And CD, they had that one final